Have you heard about Nick Leeson case? It is absurd that one employee can ruin a 233-year-old bank with arguably the strongest reputation in the British banking world, isn't it? So, the aim of today's presentation is to analyze the issues of Nick Leeson case and develop a human resources system, which should minimize the risk that history repeats itself. Before I start my speech, let me introduce myself first. I'm Yihen Chen from Group 3, and followed by Ranfeng Lin, Xiaoyang Xu, Xinjie Lian, Qian Zhuo. Now, let me introduce the outline first. As you can see here, our presentation will be given in 4 parts. The first part concerns the case background, and the second part relates to the issues and lessons, which my partner is developing in this case. Third, we will describe what human resources policies we have chosen to address the issues. Finally, we will discuss the dilemmas we may face in the essay. Now, let's turn to the next member.
Hi, I'm Ranfeng Lin, and in this part I will let you know the case background. In the early 90s, Nick Leeson was a floor trader on the Singapore futures market for borrowings. Initially, Nick Leeson was very successful in making speculative trades, which resulted in huge profits for borrowings. After running the back office of borrowings derivatives operation at the Singapore International Monetary Exchange, Leeson began making unauthorized trades. However, he soon lost money in his operations and had losses in the error count 88888. The loss was not detected as Leeson was allowed to function as the head of trading and the back office, depriving the firm of an independent check on his activities. Finally, a loss of 1.5 billion due to the unauthorized trading of Nick Leeson for spiraling into a bankruptcy. That's all about the case background, and now move on to the next part.
Hello, I am Xiaoyang Xu, and I will explain the issues that exist in human resource management. The fact that the losses had not suffered earlier suggests Barron adopted a decentralized authority system. So, the first issue in the bankruptcies of Barron's case is the lack of separation of the trading and back office. The 2 posts of front desk trading and back office settlement must be held by different people, but Barron's headquarters has arranged Leeson as the floor trading manager and the head of settlement department of BFS, which obviously violates the principle of internal control. So the lesson is the absolutely necessity of an independent trading back office. And the second issue is the poor corporate culture and risk management. Before the incident, the bank's internal auditors had noticed Nick Leeson's loss of 50 million, but he planned that the money should be deposited in the Citibank and made false documents. Alt says the profit need to be independently invested and rigorously monitored. However, the internal auditors did not go to Citibank to verify. This shows that the employer lacked responsibility and risk awareness, and there is a problem in the poor corporate culture of Barron's. That's all in this part. Now move on to the next member.
Hi, I'm Li Xinjie. I'm going to talk about the HR policies, recommendation, and suggestions. The first one is improve the performance evaluations and measurement systems. Brownies have the problem in the performance evaluations, then reward is linked to the performers, but this may lead to the illegal corporations by the employers to pursue of the high rewards. So the performance measures may be motivative or destroy the employer's incentives. In some of job like trade of the Nicholas case, the higher the measure performance is more likely that measure reflect neither lucky or manipulation. When it is so, the companies should consider a cap to rewarding luck or manipulations. So it's consecutive systems. And the second is improve the job training systems to cover the employer's sense of responsibility and risk rewardness and strengthen specific knowledge. It is necessary to training employers and establish a good corporations culture and pay attention to risk management. And the last one is build a firewall, spare front offices and back offices. Banks should build a firewall in which front and back teams' work must be effectively isolated. And the risk must be controlled under the authority of all levels.
Hi everyone, I'm Zhuo Qianqian, and now let me illustrate the dilemmas women faced in the essay. First, the biggest issue is the conflict of interest between the front office and back office, because the front office is to run the business and bring the revenue to the entire company, and the back office is an essential department to monitor the exposure and measure the risk. So it requires further discuss how to address this problem between them. We may advise the board should be responsible for deciding the risk appetite for the company, and the C-suite are in charge of executing the risk framework and infrastructure. Therefore, both front office and back office have clear rules and benchmarks to follow. The second issue is the limitation of running HR policy for some industries. In Nick Leeson's case, because the job like trader involve a significant amount of specific knowledge and information in that kind of job, it's very volatile and perishable. If the information is costly to communicate, the firm faces a trade-off. Therefore, it seems better to decentralize authority. That brings us to the end of our presentation. Group 3 has finished delivering our speech. Thank you for listening.